I've been married before. In 2005, I got married to a young lady, and it was.
I'm asking this. Now you shared that now. At the beginning, you kept that secret until he shared.
There's nothing wrong with having trauma. We all do. You just need to do something about it. Come on, unpack the trauma with it.
You ever ask yourself, just stay like you trying to figure out who the toxic, and you feel like I was the toxic one in the relationship?
Right.
Anyway, yeah.
Right.
So keep going.
Because over time I was, another relationship, and things come up, and boom, it remind me of I don't want to have that feeling again.
Mm-hmm.
But
in a new relationship.
Okay. So I would just put up walls.
Let me ask you, how did, if you don't, and cut me out, man, this is perfect. How did the relationship end, and why did it end? And I got a reason for going there.
Okay. I think we just weren't ready for the I'd say relationships that, anyone that's been married for a while, you're gonna hit a block where it could divorce, but you work through it. And I think we just never even went to a point of working through it.
What kind of problems you have?
I think it was just more so two single people being single for a long time, and then the how do you say it, the working together of a marriage, and we just kind of was like, I know for me, I was just like, all right, whatever, I've been single, no big deal, and then after I walked away, I was like, wait, hold on a second, that could have been something, and then these kids, that was a big, a big.
Did y'all argue about finances or?
Yeah, finances. I think it was a lot of, I want to go do this, I want to do that, go out of town, hang out friends.
Okay. Still want to be single.
Still want to be single.
Single but married. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're married, And so that's the thing where I think going back into another marriage, if I could give anyone advice or whatever, it's that's something you can talk about when it does arrive. You can't talk about everything. You don't know the future. But the whole thing is to communicate.
I want to dig, and you cut me off if you want to.
Go ahead.
Okay, so so your relationship, the person still want to be single, the other person, and you're like, man, we're supposed to do stuff together. Now you get into a new relationship. How does that affect that? Do you, you person still want to have those, want to be single in your mind, feel like they just want to do stuff by themselves? That past relationship, did that bother any of your new relationships?
Oh yeah.
And see, so what happens? So what you think about, like, we don't unpack it. I'm like, man. So if I get a new relationship, they will do the same thing. Oh, here we go again. And it could be they just want to have some other friends. It doesn't always have the same storyline. Yeah. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense, yeah.
So like in that trauma, what happened? Because your parents 65 years, evidently you don't believe in divorce. No. So does it make you insecure? Does it not talking about it? I know it's your first time ever talking about it like this.
I've talked to friends before, a little bit here and there.
So what
big form,
does it that past affect you in any of your new relationships going forward?
Yeah, I try to be open, going forward. Some of it is I want to be open because I want to see where somebody's at, before you move forward into a deeper relationship, to the relationship that goes a little deeper.
Yes, sir.
But I'm trying to work through too. Everything don't have to end in divorce.
Right. You don't have to.
No, I don't have to. Some studies say,
especially for me,
Yeah, for you. Yeah, yes. But some studies say that even people get divorced, they say actually first one could have worked too. They say that. Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you. So going through the divorce, did you do anything like how did you cope with it?
Oh, for me,
Yeah.
I well, I just turned to other things that weren't productive. I would drink. I would go out. Find babysitters for kids. Probably the biggest destructive thing was just I would drink.
How much drinking were you doing?
I was drinking a lot. I was drinking a lot. So much that I knew at some point. I went to Kaiser and the doctor was kind of like, okay, you're doing a little bit too much now.
Okay.
You're about to blow a valve.
The doctor told you that.
The doctor told me that your cholesterol's high, your blood pressure's high. So I was like, okay, let me deal with this issue with my life.
Right.
So I had to put the bottle down. I said, okay, Lord, put this bottle down, help me with that. And he has helped me with it.
Yeah.
So that's a done deal. In my life. And then the cancer hit, and I said, okay, that's my true call.
That's my true wake up call. Like yeah.
You got to get over that, and stop using that as a coping mechanism.
Okay.
And start dealing with issues within yourself.
Yeah, this is so powerful. That's where I wanted to kind of pull out because, man, all of us, if we don't process our trauma, it might result in other things like depression, drugs, pornography.
Oh yes.
Inappropriate sex relationships. Anybody? That sound true to anybody? Stuff like that can happen.
Oh yeah. I mean, me dealing with being shy and not feeling good enough or those kind of things. I wasn't the Mac Daddy like some of y'all might have been. That was never my MO. Yeah. And it's funny because my dad thought I was like that because, he was one of 7 brothers. He was the 7th one. It was like 13 of them total and mostly men. So, you had the older brothers telling you what to do and all that. I didn't have any of that. And so I started going to school and dressing up and, they taught you wear cologne and all this stuff. And all he sees is two close friends of mine all the time. And senior year, he thought I had a different lifestyle going.
Oh, that type.
Yes. Yeah. And, my first date, they were tripping out. Well, my dad was because he thought something was wrong. He said, no girls called the house. It was just us shy. I wasn't giving out my number. I looked at girls all day long and got started with pornography early because I was shy, didn't talk to them. And I started keeping magazines. My mom told me the story and she knows, she said, yeah, at 6 years old, I had hid a magazine under the bed. I said, really? I don't remember this. She said, oh, no, you kept one. I guess the person on the cover was some of my flavor, whatever it was, but I kept one. But from that, though, it went on through the years. Teenage, the books, to the little video arcades. I don't know if y'all know that, they had movies and you watched it, whatever. I wasn't a public person, so because I was always shy. So going to a strip club or something, I would never, ever do anything like that. I don't want y'all around there. All I need is give me a private room if it was going to be like that. Right. It wouldn't be no open thing. We all watching, hey, drinking beers. No, that would never be me. But I still was struggling and dealing with that for years. I would be good for a while. And it's a trip because you think it will leave you, but it comes right back. And what I noticed with those type of things, when you shut down the thing that you need to shut down, something else always pop up. Something else you do. It's like it found another form to do. Okay, you shut that down, but then all of a sudden now you overeating or you getting angry. It comes out some kind of way because you need to deal with the major issue. And I noticed that throughout the years. Man, I'm doing good on this now, but something else came out. That same like energy of force, or however you want to put it, it's gonna find another way out.
It always,
It's gonna find another way out. So you have to deal with that primary thing. And so pornography, I struggle with that. I'm talking to men, they said, oh man, I said, no, dude, that's me going and lying to women to get them in the bed. I said, nope. I had another outlet. Porn was the outlet for me. I wasn't trying to go, lie and do all this crazy stuff. And so that was another outlet. And I know that came up in my second marriage, and for her, she thought it was a thing against her. I said, no, it had nothing to do with you, but that's how she took it, and it came that way. And I think, I'm in my 3rd marriage now. I thank God for my wife now, just in so many ways. And we share things, how we feel about stuff. And even at the beginning, coming out of a really bad relationship after marriage too, And, you know, I was really in love with this person. And some of the crazy things that happened to me, really, I mean, stuff that I'll be embarrassed to really say some of this stuff that happened to me during that time space that I dealt with. And I remember my wife, when we were dating, she canceled a date on me one time. She said, oh, you know what? I got to go run and do something else. Immediately, I felt that, oh, she's going to do X, Y, and Z. And I said, wait a minute. She hasn't presented herself like that at all. Oh, the previous relationship. Yeah. I knew exactly what it was. I'm triggered because this is the kind of stuff the other person did.
Did she know? Did your wife know that?
No, I told her later on, weeks later, and I said, you know what? She said, I said, no, you've never made me feel like you cheat or do anything like that. I said, but one day, remember that day you was leaving and you canceled on me like abruptly? I got to run. She said, yeah. I said, man, I was triggered by that. Seriously. I said, oh, it's like that? Oh, see, Lord, man, something else just came on mind.
It's okay. Go ahead.
When we were dating, you know, this is Valentine's Day, and we've talked about this, so it's nothing secret.
Sure.
It was Valentine's Day, and I'm a huge Valentine's Day man. That's my favorite holiday. I know most men's like, Valentine's Day, yep, from a kid.
Yeah.
From a kid, Valentine's Day is my day. I take it over Christmas. So I did all this stuff, wanted to do, and she was going through a lot of stuff in her personal life. And so Valentine's come up, and she didn't even get a card. Now, that previous relationship, I was giving, and the other person wasn't doing nothing. So, you know, that was an instant trigger. I looked at her like, oh, no, this ain't about to happen to me again. I'm telling you, I was like, oh, you couldn't even get a card? That's what I'm like. I did all this, and I'm happy to do it, but okay. So I just got quiet. So the next weekend, now this is just like how stuff worked. Next weekend, after we went to a church service, and she's like, man, I said, what we going to do? And then she made a joke and said, oh, you know, you can wine and dine me and blah, blah, blah. And instantly.
You went off.
No, because see, that was the earlier me. So I learned to deal with the way I respond to my triggers differently than I did when I was younger. Because younger, I'd be going off and doing this stuff, and then wise and said, nope. But now I would get quiet. I'll do it on the basketball court. I get quiet. I'm ghosting. I'm the invisible man at this point. And that happened. Pandemic hit and all this stuff. Said, what happened to us? That was it for me. After that second thing, I just unplugged like unplugging this thing. I didn't say nothing because I'm not about to go through the drama talking about it. I'm not talking no more. I'm just not letting this happen to me again. And it turned out to be a misunderstanding. She came back later. We talking about maybe almost a year later. Wow. And we talked about it, and she said, no, I was going through this. And she said, I felt bad, blah, blah, blah. And we talked about it. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, I just unplugged. It wasn't that I wasn't serious. I wouldn't spend my time dating somebody or going out if I wasn't interested. I'm not gonna waste your time and my time. Right. See, I was never that player,
she
dude.
Probably had some trauma too.
Yeah, from that.
She had to put down everything you do, like it ain't no big deal when it was.
It was.
So if you move on, I'm not attached to it.
Right.
Wow.
And so, and once we cleared that up, she understood why I responded. You have to share that because then she view it differently. Yeah. She responds to me different. Mm-hmm. And this is what I've learned doing the relationship stuff. Mm-hmm. If you're not feeling good or something's going on with you, share that with whoever you in relationship with, work or whatever. Mm-hmm. Then they would, people just generally, they're going to respond or make accommodations for you.
They will.
Right? If you're not feeling good, then what? My expectations of you change. Mm-hmm. So, okay, he's not feeling, no, dude, you relax. We got this.
Right.
We're going to accommodate you and give you that space to heal or whatever it is you need to do. Right. But when we don't know, now we're triggered. It's like, you lazy, you ain't doing nothing because you didn't share what was going on with you. Right. And I learned that. One more, I'm sorry. These things are coming back to my mind. In a relationship, it was about to be this major breakup, and just the whole story is just crazy. And it was a lack of communication. So I get off from work, and I'm excited. Like, I'm going to spend time with this woman, right? So when I get there, I didn't plan and did all this stuff. And so they just kind of lazing around doing stuff. It's like, I'll have very little time with you left. But I didn't express that to her. Got in this huge argument. And when it came down to it the next day, now she had her view of it. She thinking I'm going to cheat and stuff. That's not my MO. I don't need to be a cheater. One woman's more than enough for me. Right. You're doing it right. It's plenty of work. Right. One woman is more than enough. Yeah. Right?
It's definitely a lot of work.
Yeah, it's work. I always looked at it like that, in a good way.
Right.
I expressed to her after the fact, after this huge, one of the biggest arguments we ever had. I said, you know what? When I came home, I just wanted to spend time with you. That's what it came down to. She said, why didn't you say that?
Mm-hmm.
I think about that. She said, why didn't you just say that? But I was reacting all these weird, crazy things.
From your trauma.
Yeah. I just wanted to spend time with you.
Mm.
If I'd have told her that, then she could have responded differently.
Mm-hmm.
She could have stopped everything else. And why I felt, I know I'm not going to see you past this. I just want to spend time with you. But I didn't communicate that.
Mm.
And so when you do that, then the people you with respond differently.
Yeah.
They will. Every experience I had, like my boss, and that's a coworker. I don't even know my boss like that. But when I told him this, it changed everything. The whole dynamic of our relationship changed.
That is so powerful. Man, this is good. Y'all, well, I'm really enjoying. Y'all enjoying yourself today?
Yeah, this is good.
I'm going to read this. Men can feel powerless, and struggle with maintaining healthy relationships and their self-esteem. They may feel their identity has been shaped and set in stone by the traumatic event. As they replay it in their minds, coping may be more and more difficult. The inability to cope with their feelings can lead to impaired judgment and pave the way for unhealthy behaviors such as drinking, drug use, or other risky behaviors. Men may believe that seeking out help makes them seem weak. In general, men carry with them a stigma that they are somehow not supposed to talk about these feelings. Right? And that is where people are stuck today. So it comes out in different other ways. And let me add this part too. It says, when it comes to men, they typically struggle with anger, isolation, and avoidance. And often these behaviors have been going on for a long time before they even decide to get help. Man, anger, man, it comes out. I mean, that's really comes from the trauma or isolation. How many times I hear women like, they don't talk. I don't know what's bothering them. You know, they take off. All the avoidance. No, they don't want to be around nobody. I think some of us shared some of that stuff there. Yeah. You have any input on that? Anybody?
As far as anger go, yeah.
Okay.
Dealing with anger. That's me. I just, you okay? Yeah, I'm good. And I keep holding it in and holding it in. And then when something happens, I blow up. Yeah, it's a wrap. I'm just saying things now. And I'm the type of person, I used to be the type of person to where if you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you 10 times worse. And I told her, I'm going to keep doing it until I really break you down, until I hurt your feelings. I'm going to say stuff to you that's going to really get you.
Right.
Because I was angry.
Hurt people. Wow. And men are the master of masking how they really feel. But I think like formats like this that we're doing here, that we come out and talk about it and sharing, and then we help the next generation, our kids. You know, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to open up. But again, it's a safe place. But what if, somebody around you, you don't feel safe? That's okay. You told it. You tell your own story. Right. Yeah. What's some other things you guys my two guests, you might have overcame? Or some traumatic experiences in your life.
I mean, while we on the marriage part,
yeah, go there.
Yeah. I've been married before. In 2005, I got married to a young lady, and it was.
I'm asking this. Now you shared that now. At the beginning, you kept that secret until he shared. That's what men do.
Yeah, that's true.
We tell what version we want to tell.
Right. We omit stuff
to keep us looking good. I'm just using this. That's just BS. Yeah. We holding that stuff in.
Right.
It's all that. It's okay to say, man, I done messed up. I've done this. Stop where people say, But the more we talk about it, then we have other people so won't keep making the same mistakes.
Right.
But also you share with your spouse. But anyway, I'm glad. I love how you shared it now, but you didn't share it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
So, go ahead.
Because I was thinking, I was like, man, listen to everybody talk. I'm saying to myself, man, I got a lot of trauma to unpack. I'm like, man, and it's just one day right now. How much longer we got? No, but yeah. So, I've shared it with my wife before that I got married. But this marriage that I was previously in, it was because she wanted to become a citizen. So it was basically for her to get her papers and all that.
What was her nationality?
She was Hispanic.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first time she asked me, I was like, no, because back then, I knew what marriage meant.
Mhm.
You know, I was like, man, I know I'm not ready to get married. And then when she was like, oh, you know, for my papers, you know, I said, nah, because marriage to me is sacred. And once I get married, I don't want to be, you know, like, oh, no, you weren't ready, nothing like that. So I told her no the first time. And then I had got my son, you know, he's 20, he'll be 20 next month. I mean, in June.
Oh, okay.
And I was a single parent with him. You know, I raised him from birth. So they were helping me while I was in school and while I was working. So then I went on ahead and I was like, oh, okay, you know.
Okay.
Then I caught feelings.
Oh, yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
I wish I learned some of the slang.
Yeah.
I caught feelings.
Yeah, I caught feelings.
I
And then, you know, we end up having my daughter. You know, she's about to, you know, she just turned 17. And I went through a lot with that marriage.
Right.
A lot.
Wow.
Within the 6 months.
In 6 months? Y'all was married for 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we was married longer than that, but
Oh.
within 6 months of our marriage.
Okay,
major issue.
It got rough.
Okay.
It got really rough.
Mhm.
You know, so, you know, I dealt with a lot of trauma with that. You know, found out she was cheating and,
Okay.
you know, just all kind of stuff. You
Mhm.
know, so I took that and that's why I was like, I knew I shouldn't have did this. Because my mama told me, don't do it, baby. Don't do it. And
Okay.
I lied to my mom and said, I'm not going to do it.
At what age were you?
I was, this was 2000. I'm good. I'm not that good at math.
I'm definitely, about to pull my
I was
phone
in my
out.
early 20s.
Okay.
And my mom told me, she said, don't do it, baby. You know, this not for you. Don't do it. And I told her, I said, I'm not going to do it, mama. And I went behind her back and did it anyway and regretted it
Right.
and dealt with a lot.
So for the former spouse, it was a business transaction to her completely.
Yes.
Okay.
To her.
Right, to her. Right, for her. Because you, like you said, you caught feelings. She did.
I'm the one that got the feeling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
She was just like she told you, hey, I just want to get papers.
Yep.
Right. And she didn't get connected.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
What kind of ringer did she put you through? What she put you through?
Cheating. And with Hispanic heritage, they're tight in that family.
Right.
They are close. So it's them and then it's me. So whenever something was going on, it was always involving the whole family. So it was them, it was all of them against me.
Okay.
And I just felt like, man, you know, I couldn't never do anything right. I would work, give her my whole paycheck, you know, and it was a whole lot. And then when we had our baby, that's when the problems really started progressing. You know, so, you know, and then as my daughter got older, she would, you know, just get up out the bed like 8, 9 o'clock at night, put on mini skirts, getting ready to go out.
Who was this? Your wife would?
My wife, yeah.
Oh, wow.
My ex-wife, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then when I found out she was cheating, I was working out down below, and I got a phone call that something had happened and she got stuck, you know, trying to cross back over. I was like, wait, where is she? They're like, oh, she in Mexico. I'm what? I didn't know nothing. So I guess she was out there with the guy that she was cheating with. Ended up getting pregnant, and I believe she had an abortion.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why she's in Mexico to get the abortion.
Yeah. Seeing the guy she was with.
Oh, I see.
That burns. And I was like, man, I don't know. And you know, after that, like, I ain't never getting married.
It's tough for them. Yeah,
Right. I'm not never getting married. Nope. So as years go by, you know, I'm in different relationships, but each one, it was always, if something come up that reminded me of that, I'm out. Gotta go.
Man.
Next. That's all. That was me. I'm serious.
I know, man. I love
When
it.
I think about it to this day,
I've been knowing you for a long time, and I ain't never heard this story before. So I'm sitting like,
yeah, to this day.
This is so good, man,
Yeah.
because, you know, did that mess you up in, it did, you know, being close to other women?
Yeah.
So if you thought anything, you would hurt them first?
Yep. Oh, you ain't gonna get me.
So I'm going to get another
And
girl.
I wouldn't say nothing. It would just be a mental thing.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
She did. Okay.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yep, here we go. I will make sure I get on the phone with somebody else.
Yes.
And that was me. Once I get bored and I feel like you ain't living up to it, all right, next. But I'm still gonna be talking to you. Cause I was into women sexually, big time.
Did it become more after that relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that.
Because of that.
Man, I heard stories like where people say, yeah, because of that person, man, I just went buck wild. I was with everybody.
Yep.
So I'm gonna hurt you. Man, I think about, that's probably what happened to me then. Because when I was a kid, I shared this, that's a stupid story I shared with you guys. Me and my brother was in elementary. He didn't even know it. I was liking this girl. We were twins. We were identical twins. I came around the corner. I saw him kissing. I said, he kissed my girlfriend. But it wasn't my girlfriend. The girl didn't even like me. She didn't even know me. But it messed me up mentally.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was just, I took nobody serious.
Yep.
And then when my dad died, so I didn't make sure I didn't get attached to people. So if you leave me, I ain't gonna feel that pain again. That's the worst pain to see your dad in the casket, and all that, just cries. So nobody was gonna hurt me. Nobody was gonna hurt me.
Right.
I can say I love you, and you think it's like deep, but it was just enough to make you feel connected, but also enough to make me feel safe.
Right.
So if you bounce, whatever, move on. But then I started also doing a lot of risky behaviors, So man, that's just wow. Yeah. So did your wife ever know this? Did she know this story you're with now? Did she know this?
Yeah, I talked to her a little bit about it. Yeah, but I knew as the years went on, I knew that I couldn't continue that lifestyle, especially because I knew eventually I wanted to settle down and be a family man.
Did you sabotage a lot of relationships that could have been good?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Behind my own insecurities.
Right.
Some because I didn't deal with that trauma.
Right.
You know, I didn't have the manly advice. It was just,
a lot of us.
Like you said, the streets got to me. And it wasn't the streets, it was just the women. And it wasn't so much of the sexual, it was just so much of, conversations and spending time and stuff, something like that. But I knew eventually I could not keep doing the same thing I was doing. Especially if I wanted to settle down and be a family man. Right. And then dragging that into a marriage,
Right.
But my marriage now, I'm still, it's still work because of me, because of the things that I've dealt with and the things that I've been dealing with. It is work.
It is work.
It is work
For me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If I don't stay focused, I go back to where I cope with stuff.
Right.
And that's why I would cope.
Used to doing it.
Next,
That's right.
talk to but like going through therapy, it made me realize, that's how I've been coping with stuff. Doing it the wrong way, and so so this is good you sharing that, man. This is, yeah. I'm glad Rodney telling this story made you start talking about. We know nobody's this wife.
Thank you, Rodney.
We left here.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
I wish I couldn't have helped you with that, but
Appreciate it. Yeah. Wow, that's good. I left Derek. Anything you want to add to that story? I mean, not that story, just anything.
I just with Jamal.
Yeah.
Was talking. It just reminded me of me. It's like, man, process that. So you helping somebody right here on the stage, brother. So I know out there.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go with it. How's he helping you right now on the stage?
Just seeing myself, in relationships, going from relationship to relationship, and then when something come up, I kind of talked about it a little earlier.
Okay.
You just kind of jump out. You just like, I'm out. I ain't about to deal with that again.
right. That's it. Not doing it.
Ooh. So you never really get a full, good try. Yeah.
Right. And now I'm looking back and I'm like, that wasn't fair to me or the other person.
Right.
Because maybe it was. Maybe it's just, you just got to give it another little bit more time.
Right.
So you can work through it. I'm like, nah, forget that. I'm out.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
It wasn't you was running to nothing better.
Right.
Just running.
Right. Yeah. Just running, man.
That's it.
Just running.
The running man.
So it's like, I'm at the point now, I'm like, okay, you got to start trying to do better.
Right.
You can't just run, be honest, talk, and try to do better in the relationship you're in, and take it a little slower and just relax with it.
Yeah.
And that's, I kind of, when you was talking, it's like, okay, I'd seen, I'm listening to you, I'm like, I can identify that.
Yeah.
He had to kind of talk to it. He had to talk to himself.
Right.
For a minute. And that's where I'm at right now.
Right.
So a few steps behind you, but eventually you get to that point. I think in anything,
Right.
you got to talk to yourself. You got to have a real conversation. Say, okay, it ain't just them, it's you.
Right.
It's
it
you.
is.
Yeah. Man, that's so good. I have a best friend, one of my best friends from Houston, Texas. We've been known just since junior high. He from 3rd Ward, 5th Ward, and then we moved to Mo City. However, and he went through divorce. He's probably watching now, so yes, I'm sharing your story online. But he helped me because I used it with 30. He said, Casey, I went to divorce, didn't want that. He said, I realized, let me with some therapy. I want to make sure it's not me before I jump into another one. And I'm sitting right there like, I should be thinking like, I'm the therapist because I didn't do that. I'm like, man, that's what he said. And now today he's been with the same woman since then. He said, maybe I have, and he realized the stuff he had to process. And so I'm hearing him talking like, man, I need to do that. And that was, it was years ago. And I always share that, like, man, I think that was just so powerful that he said, I got to check, make sure I'm okay first before I jump into another relationship. Make sure it's not me. Make sure I'm not the problem. And so I just love that how you guys are being so transparent and open, all of us, all four of us, man. So this is really, really cool. I know y'all gonna bless a lot of men, man. They get like, damn, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. We all got a piece of everybody, here. But we all are processing stuff.
Still, that's right.
I'm still processing.
Yep. It's always a work in progress.
But the problem, did y'all know, man, even my own, it was some years, and y'all know some other stuff I do. I was suffering depression. I would drive home. I'm successful, got a good job, wife, go to church and all that stuff. But man, sometimes I would just drive and like, man, just hurting. Still missing my dad, always I am. And just sometimes like, man, if I just want to hear no more, I'd be all fine. And I didn't realize, I do realize it. That's suicide ideation. I never had suicide thoughts. When you don't want to live here, you didn't have a plan. Now, it's different. You're suicidal. You got a plan. We'll put you in the hospital. I got a plan. I got a gun. But I was never on that level. But I had suicide thoughts because I didn't want, I just want to live.
Right.
But also, I had people around me that loved me, but I didn't share it with them because I had this mindset. I had to be strong for everybody. And if I tell you I'm hurting, y'all gonna look at me as weak. Then none of my roles will work.